What's your name and where you from?
My name is Malachi. I'm from Lanham, Maryland.
Cool. What's the name of your brand and how long ago did it start?
Name of my brand's Horror Gods. It started in 2016.
Cool. What was the inspiration behind it?
Uh, I am a big horror fan and movie buff. Um, Also, my partner, Zachary Sweet, he is an artist. We both love art. He's a big horror fan as well. Uh, we just wanted to bring art for artists and for the fans of horror. We wanted to bring our like little slice of the pie to the table, because we didn't like a lot of stuff that was coming out in that particular part realm, I guess I would say. And yeah, we wanted to bring our piece to it and show people what we can do with it. That's about it.
What were some of your favorite horror films growing up?
Oh man. Child's Play 2, Chucky's definitely one. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy Forever. Um, Evil Dead 2. I saw a lot of sequels. So I saw all three of those actually, and those are my first memories of horror. And Scream. Those are some of my favorites.
What about current movies?
Current movies. Oh man. Modern stuff. I like Hereditary. Um, I just saw Obsession. It was amazing. The Substance, Weapons. Yeah, stuff like that. I like. I try to keep up with all of it. All of it's not good, but I try to keep up with some of it, and yeah, most of it I like. I am particular because I am a film fan. I don't just like horror. I like movies in general. So yeah, I would say those are some of them that I can name.
So growing up in the DMV, how would you say the fashion early childhood, teenage years shaped you to be into clothes now?
Mm, that's a really good question. Yeah, because I grew up in PG County. I went to Duval High School, and like I kind of stood out. I was very different. But I did see the fashion. I didn't, I was hip to most of it, not all of it. But I always did my own thing. Like dressing up as growing up, I didn't care. I would go with big Timberland boots with a big army jacket and probably like a wrestling shirt or some shit, and I didn't give a fuck. But as I got older, I did start to care a little bit more, and like I grew up, I got into skateboarding
Hmm.
when I was about 14, and that kind of like changed my whole perception about clothing and what to wear and what to think about what you wear. And I feel like skateboarding has a really a big influence on the scene now, what's happened now, right now.
Hmm.
And yeah, that the skateboarding has taught me to just not give a fuck really, and like what to put together or what not to put together. Like wear whatever the fuck you want.
Would you say that like kind of rebellious like side of you from school to like skateboarding like has translated well into the brand that you're building now?
Definitely. Um, I had actually had a brand before Horror Gods. It was called Day Civilians, and this dude I met working a job, I met him and we remained friends, and he had a brand called Day Civilians. It was a streetwear brand more so, but it was still very unique and people loved it and gravitated to it. So I wanted to help him get it out there. So I started helping him with that brand. And then he kind of like moved on from it and kind of gave it to me. And yeah, he moved on and he gave it to me. And then I was pushing that for a while with skateboarding. I mixed skateboarding with that brand. And because it was already kind of like that style, but still like a streetwear. And I moved to California and I was pushing it with all these skaters out there. I had one of my best friends that was from the DMV out there with me. He was already living there. I went there, met up with him, met a bunch of people, tried to make this team and like really push it. Um, and it just wasn't working out like how I wanted it to. And I was working at Super 7, which is it's like they sell like collectibles, but they also sell t-shirts and clothes and stuff. So when I was working there, shout out to Luke that hired me there. Uh, when I was working there, I learned how to ship things. I learned where to buy my clothes. I learned where to buy my pins. I've learned how to make toys. I've learned more about the art world and in that scene. Um, and that changed my whole thing because that really showed me they super. I don't know if y'all know Super 7, but if you look them up, they're pretty big. They even got bigger from since I was with them, and I'm so happy for them. And yeah, that as I met Zachary Sweet. Shout out Zachary Sweet. That's my partner who I own Horror Gods with. He worked at Super 7 as well. And he's an amazing artist. Check him out. He does his own art. And we both always geek out. As one of my closest friends. We geek out and laugh all the time. And we talk about horror movies at work. And I just remember, I would never forget, one day I was complaining to him about the brand that wasn't working because I put so much time and effort into that. And my name was Horror God on Instagram, my personal Instagram at the time. And he liked that. And one day he was like, yo, what if we start our own brand called Horror Gods? A Horror God at the time. And I was kind of like, you know, he was an amazing artist. So I wanted to work with him, but I put so much into this other brand that is just like something I had to think about. And then the next day, he had my logo, the prayer hands with the knife. That's my logo. He had that, and I thought about it, and it was on. It took about a year to get our first product out, but that was at the end of 2016.
Okay, so I got a few follow-up questions to ask, but first, moving from the DMV to California, it felt like you really found your people there, like your sense of community out there, probably more so than here, right?
It's not totally because I have two of my closest friends out there, and I did meet people out there. Like I said, all the people at Super 7, and like it is a good community, and I got love for Cali, but Zach is one. That's the thing that we can
Mm-hmm.
like. I was kind of like meant to meet
Yeah.
him. I feel like so we could do this, but yeah, I wouldn't really. I don't think I would live there.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a fun place to go and visit. I do love my people there, and yeah.
The other question was, you spoke a lot about your co-founder, right? And you guys have been together this whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Can you explain the importance of building a team and having the right partners with you?
Oh man, it's everything. We're still building it, believe it or not. It's just me and him. Like we do it across the country from each other. We've been doing it across the country from each other, um, and we make it work. I'm not gonna say we didn't have our ups and downs, which we'd have, but we've worked through it and we're making it work. And it definitely has taught me a lot. Uh, and that's everything. Everything's trial and error. You ain't gonna get nowhere if you ain't. You're gonna fail. So you got to be able to fail.
And what about now as you look towards the future? What are some projects you're looking forward to dropping? Do you have any other team members? Are you looking to expand? What does that look like?
Yeah, I need more models. I'm trying to get and more people to shoot with. I shoot myself, but like obviously you need a team like for everything, and it's hard because we're all doing stuff from the ground up, and like I kind of like invested a lot into this out of my personal life and my money and all that stuff. So it's you have to really find people that are want to do this, you know. But right now, yeah, I would say models, people that want to shoot the brand, and push it because I feel like I'm already doing pretty well pushing it,
Hmm.
just me and him. And I go to horror conventions. I do that. That's a big part of how I've got my name out there too, because these are people that are coming there for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not somebody you got to be like, oh, come check this out. Buy. They coming up looking for what to buy.
Mm.
So that's a big thing. And I love my horror con fam. Yeah, we got a lot of new stuff coming out. We drop stuff almost every month. We try to keep it like that because we're trying to build our merch. Like we're just trying to have as much merch as possible right now because that's what people want to buy stuff. You can't have a few things, and I've learned that too doing that. And we number everything. Everything's so limited. It's people are buying it, so it's coming and going at the same time. So we trying to have stuff coming in and out, and that's what makes it what we're trying to make, like rare, limited art pieces. That's what I look at it as. I look at even if it's a shirt, anything, everything's a rare, limited art piece because it ain't gonna be made forever. And we already moving on to this next new thing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at that.
For people unfamiliar to like a horror show, like what does that look like?
The horror conventions.
Yeah.
Oh man, you meet some of the nicest people at these things. And you meet people that are into the same thing as you, and it's just amazing to see that because people don't always find who they're people, and you can go there and find your people if you're into something. So I would advise anybody that's into anything, go to these things and meet people and network because this is the biggest networking things you can do. I've met so many people doing this stuff. Like it's so many states that I can just go to and have somewhere to stay just because I went to a horror convention.
Mm.
you know. So I met like celebrity. I'm friends with like some of these celebrities from the old horror movies, just from going to horror conventions that they're always at, and they're just people, and they cool people. So, but it's amazing. I'm a vendor. They have other vendors there. It's vendors you could buy stuff. There's celebrities from the movies you can meet, because people go there to meet people from the movie. But you stay for the environment, for people there, the vendors, the stuff to check out. They have Q&As with people from the movie. You got vendors, like I said. They have like movies playing. It's a bunch of things going on. So
Mm.
it's a lot of fun.
What makes a good horror movie and what makes a good piece of horror merch, in your opinion?
Mm, good horror movie. That's a good one. I just saw Obsession. I know I brought that up, but that makes a good horror movie. That movie was I left that movie exhilarated. It was funny. It was scary. I don't watch to be honest, I don't watch horror to be scared. I watch horror for the art and like I just love it. I'm just a fan of that art. I don't know. But I don't watch it to be scared. And then, like I like people that watch it to be scared. Like I like watching horror movies with people that actually get scared because this makes it funner for me. But so when I do watch one, and what makes it a good horror movie for me is when everything is just right. Like the filming, the story. The story has to be an original story or somewhat original because everything obviously takes from something. But it needs to be somewhat of an original story. Lighting, music, all those things I
Mm.
kind of look at. Like I said, because I'm a movie buff. So yeah, I feel like all of that makes a good horror movie. And if you get the crowd reaction, and Obsession did that, go see Obsession.
What's the
Like
worst
watch it
horror
for the
movie
scene.
you ever seen?
The worst? Oh man, damn. I know Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake from 2010 is fucking. I don't even own that shit. Um, I'm trying to think of something else. Because that one, everybody knows it sucks. Damn, the worst. Hmm.
Any of the like the Disney ones or the younger ones? I feel
I
like
like them Disney ones. You
I
talking
like
about like Winnie the Pooh and shit?
I don't know if that's horror, but
Wait, what Disney ones you talking about?
like the one with the long hair, the cartoon, the younger ones, but I feel like those actually are great. Like when I look back and like think about the horror films I watched as a kid, like kid horror films.
Yeah.
I feel like they're great. They all have like a lesson to it, you know.
Oh, you talking about like The Gate?
It's this one with this old man with like a white pale face. I forgot what that one's called.
Poltergeist.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I know what you mean though. You mean like movies that are more like a kid could watch
Hmm.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like The Gate.
Okay.
Like that's yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. And like Blumhouse does a lot of that stuff now, but I don't know. I am very particular now when it comes to newer movies.
Hmm.
Like, but I like most of the old stuff.
You spoke a little bit about music and the soundtracks. Growing up, were you into music a lot?
Oh, dude, music. I think I like music more than movies,
Oh,
to be honest with you. I love music. I listen to everything. I know people say that, but I listen to everything. Like,
does any of the music kind of influence the fashion you're making, or and also to
yes.
that, are there any like artists that you look up to like stylistically?
Oh, yes. Stylistically, not, you mean like what they wear?
Yeah, like certain artists.
Not necessarily what they wear,
Mm-hmm.
but their persona.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Infamous, 3 6 Mafia. He was the king of hardcore. He made a lot of hardcore rap,
Mm-hmm.
but also just a lot of the Memphis rap in general. All that old Memphis stuff. That's what I listen to. I like grew up on that since I was like 14, but even younger. But I was like got really into it when I was 14. But my brother used to play all that stuff when I was younger. And I just went down the rabbit hole because I just like the dark stuff. So I've always been into like horror and then like the dark music, but it was the Memphis rap music specifically. Like that definitely influences me.
Mm.
You can see it in some of my artwork too.
Free Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, right, right.
So if you could give yourself advice, like your younger self, as you're about to leave to LA, what advice would you give from the perspective of like now you're 10 plus years deep into building this brand and it continues to evolve?
Giving my advice before when I was there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was in San Francisco,
Okay.
but I should have stayed. I would have told myself to stay only because of what I'm trying to do is more eyes out there. That's the one thing. If you're trying to do something, everybody obviously know you. I mean, now I don't know. It's getting a little. This was 2014 though, so it was a different, little slightly different time. But yeah, I would have stayed. Um, the reason why I came back was kind of dumb, but like not dumb because I also was not. I don't know. It was just a different thrive at the time that I was going through. So I would have definitely stayed though.
Mm.
That's what I would have told myself.
If you could dress up Playboy Cardi head to toe, what would you put on him?
Playboy Cardi
Yeah.
of my stuff.
Yeah. Like
Mm.
what would it look like? Like how would, because in my head he's like the closest mainstream horror aesthetic, punk aesthetic type guy.
To be honest, I'm not a Cardi fan.
Not me neither.
I don't really care. So I don't know him like that. I don't know what he does or like his
Okay.
persona like
Okay,
that.
what about like your favorite artists today? Like how would you style them if they were into horrorcore?
Um, I guess like Eminem, he's in there, or like Lord Infamous or
Hmm.
something. Uh, I don't know. I would probably put on something that I'm wearing. Some fucking Jamie Foy New Balance. Maybe my sweatpants. Let's say Horror Gods going down the side. Uh, Probably a logo tee, straight up with the brand logo and a hat, one of my hats. Something simple. I keep it simple. I guess.
Um, Last question. So what do you hope to see in the next 10 years of your brand?
Next 10 years, shoot, we want to be doing horror convention. We want to have our own horror convention. It just be called Horror Gods. That's it. Nothing else to it. You come into Horror Gods. Uh, but more online. I want to be like thriving online, I would say, because honestly, you can go out and do as much as you can and like do anything at any time with promoting, but I don't know that online presence. If you got that, you good. Like
Hmm.
So I guess more of that, which it slowly is. It's been a long journey. Like it was before I wasn't selling really anything online, and I had to go to horror conventions to sell my stuff. But I mean, stuff was selling online, but it wasn't like at what I wanted. Like now things are slowly moving, so everything take time, And like I
Mm,
said, you gotta fail to do something.
awesome. Appreciate getting to know you, talking about your brand and the the vibrancy of it and everything else you got coming. Much love. Thank you for educating the folks.
Thank you.
And yeah, any
Much love.
last words you want to give these folks?
Yeah. horrorguys.net. Shout out my boy Zachary Sweet. Check out him. Check out his art. Malachi Films. Shout out DMV Wholesale Department.